Assalamualaikum guys. This is Dr. Nida Masood with another brainstorming session on how to develop a timeline. First of all, we need to understand what is timeline all about, and how do we make use of that particular timeline in a productive way. That is either developing a case study, either in research or any other um, decision-making tool. Basically, timeline is a simple element where you use to uh, uh, find out and arrange all the events, incidents, occurrences that happen within the organization over a certain period of time in an ascending order or either in a descending order as per your requirement. And when all those things are arranged in an order, you would be able to identify the background reasons of a certain incident, or you are also able to identify uh, the repetition of any kind of occurrences, any kind of events in an organization. For instance, if we say that in the past we have plane crash incidents of different airlines. Uh, Once we make the timeline of that particular organization, we would be able to identify whether that was a one-time incident or whether that was a repetitive one, and what are the things that changed over that particular course of time that resulted in the occurrence of that particular disaster. In the meantime, if we can say that there was a change in technology in another organization, and after that acquisition or the change in technology in that particular organization, the company faced so many problems in their software application implementation, the access to those features, that automatically we would be able to understand that what became the reason of it. So these things should be clearly understood and evaluated in order to make a proper decision in the future. So timeline basically becomes very much important. That plays a very important role while designing a case study. As you all know, that case study is a specific piece of research that is focused on an organization and any incident in an organization in order to understand the things that occurred over certain in order to understand the background reason of a certain occurrence or certain incident that happened within the organization. We use the case study method, and you develop a case study, and with the help of that particular case study you follow a certain time period, and you analyze all the changes that were made in the past, so you would be able to identify and locate the actual one that resulted in that particular chaos, that resulted in, as a consequence. Similar, so in that case, timeline becomes a very effective tool that helps you not only arrange all the things that occurred in an order, but also help you create multiple case studies in the same one. So, for example, I'm sharing a timeline. First of all, we need to understand what is actually the format for that timeline. You can create any Excel sheet. In that particular Excel sheet, the first column will represent the time, whether that would be year, month, or even days. At times, keep this thing in mind that in the past can be measured, the past events can be like recorded in the different with the difference in years, but in a case study, the days that were just behind that particular incident day has to be mentioned, has to be clearly reported. For example, if a certain thing occurred on, let's say, 21st September of that year, so you need to be sure to mention all those events that occurred from 1st September till 20th September. That would be a change in day to day because nothing happens all of a sudden. There are always the reason behind anything, and you need to make sure that all the things are reported properly in order to understand the background reason. So for that matter, the first column is of year and month. In this particular timeline, they are reported separately, but you can make it in a single column as well. The second is the event, and that should be actually just in a few words, the main like keywords should be there as a heading. For example, became world's leading foreign exchange retailer or acquisition of a certain organization. The third column would be the details of that event, and the fourth column that you must mention is the reference of that event. That would be that way you would be able to, like, in case if you're following the event outline, event heading, and you are taking a bit of detail from this particular column, so you would be able to get the detailed information by clicking the reference in the last column. So this is basically a timeline of one of very old organizations in Europe, in UK. That was Thomas Cook Group, that initially started off as a family business, and it was 175 years old when it went bankrupt in 2019. And you all know that whenever we hear the word 2019, the immediate thing that comes in our mind is that the thing goes bankrupt might be because of COVID-19, but it was not the case. The company went bankrupt before the start of COVID-19. So there was no relation of COVID-19 with the bankruptcy of Thomas Cook. Thomas Cook basically was again 175-year-old organization that started off as a family ownership, and later on it kind of went through so many different phases and all those things. And but in the last 20 years, that is from 1990 to, actually not last 20 years, that last 30 years were the most crucial one. And in that particular time period, they faced a lot of changes, including not only the changes on operational level or tactical level, but on the strategic level, the acquisition by Gulf. At times, there was the total change in the ownership. There was a total change in the board of directors. They went through major legal trauma. So there were a lot of details that were present in this particular timeline. Now, in this particular timeline, although that was 175-year-old, but however, we just took the last 30 years, that is from 1990 till 2019. So it would be around 29 years so far. So there we have reported the incidents and the key incidents that occurred during that particular time. And you can see from 1990 to 1993, world's leading foreign exchange retailer, bank acquires Thomas Group from Midland Bank. It means the change in ownership. Germany's bank acquires the Thomas Cook Group, expanded its retail network, opened a foreign exchange office, and there were different online is launched. There were the changes on the strategic level. right? And then comes like new market ventures in different countries, in different cities, a new product launch with a travel money card. And so all these decisions were on the strategic level. We have to keep in mind what kind of events we are going to report over here. We are not actually reporting day-to-day operational things, and but in the as I mentioned earlier, that during the whatever the base point of case study is, at that particular time you have to report every incident, whether that is on operational level, whether that is on a strategic level, because you never know what would be the strategic importance of that particular event. So as we can see that from 2009, 2001, and the appointment of CEO, resignation, change in operation holds. So details include a lot of things. 2006, 7, multiple events during different eras, 2007, 8, and finally, that would be, sorry, that would be 2019 is there. And Uh, obviously, I'll not go into the details of this particular company, but there were a lot of events reported during that particular time. What were the like kind of blunders that were made by the company? What kind of hurdles that were faced by the company? And that resulted in the bankruptcy in September 2019. So as you can see, as I mentioned earlier, that when you get nearer to the base point of your case study, you have to report every incident rather than on yearly basis. You have to report it on monthly basis, and at times you have to report it on daily basis. The event should be reported. So that was start of that thing. February, March, May, June, July, August, September, and on September you can see September 12, 15, 19, and that was the end of it, right? And that was 23rd September, it went bankrupt, right? So the thing is that again, uh, it's your own way of using this particular timeline in your research. It actually do wonders in aligning all those fact and figures, in research or in writing a case study. Most of the time you face the problem that the data is not synchronized. You dive into the data, and there are a lot of things you need to mention. You need to like a kind of share, but what should be the way, what should be the order? So this way, that this will help you synchronize, this will help you align, order the facts in a proper way, and also make it easier for you to write a case study. Another thing now, after creating this particular case study, you can see that the thing is further divided from all that data. That is actually 196 columns in there, 198 columns in there. The data is further divided into different kind of events reported. For example, we have extracted the data in acquisitions and mergers, and we have like divided into like all the data that was related to acquisition and mergers. In 1990, it happened 94, 98, 2000, whenever they acquired something, whenever they used to merge with someone, 2005, 2006. So this way you would be able to understand the order of events. When did they face the change of CEOs in different times? Like in 2003, there was a change in CEO, 2005, 12. So you can see how it's helping you in understanding the things. Sell or change of ownership. Uh, Keep this thing in mind that ownership is a different thing and change of directorship is a different thing. Ownership 2001 total change, and 2005 major stakeholders change 2012 and kind of 2012-14. So major problematic events that occurred uh, proved a major stumbling. Ownership of Thomas Cook's airplanes proved a major stumbling block. Launching their own airline, that was a problem so far. A halt of airport air operations. Deaths of Christine and Robert Shepard that ultimately became the reason of their bankruptcy in the end, because these were two young children that were died because of negligence of the company or negligence of the hotel operators that were arranged by Thomas Cook. So again, these things how we were able to extract these kind of details, these kind of informations, when we will get back to the main timeline, we would be able to understand the order or hierarchy of these things, order of these incidents, that how did the company deal with the incident, how did the company and how the things were affected after the death of Christine and Robert, what happened, how they were uh, like criticized by the media all over the Europe for their negligence, and that resulted in the death of two innocent children. So, and ultimately, their CEO had to resign. Uh, so, one of the incident occurred in 2006, and later on, similarly in 2009, another incident occurred, and the repeated occurrences of such events obviously like negatively affects the goodwill of a company. The brand worth is again negatively hit. So you can see that, and everywhere we have a reference in there. So that will help us understand the order of events, and also in case if we want to like go into the details, we can go into the details by clicking that particular reference. So you can see, yeah, now we will get back to 2006, sorry, when the death of two children were reported, and just see that as you can see that this is an event reported on 2015, and in this particular event on 2015, the event that occurred on 2006 is also reported, because that was a long case that obviously the parents of those children filed a case against the organization, against the company, and they had to face a legal war between the two. There was a legal war, legal battle between the two parties. So this way you can understand, you can make use of different events. So I hope you all have understood how the timeline is created. How can we make use of that particular thing? And the rest of the details can easily be gathered through the YouTube video about the case study, how to develop the case study, and another one. So wish you best of luck in your research and in your projects and in your case studies. You can better use or the timeline. You can make better use of timeline in all these things. Take care. Allah Hafiz.